Hello again, and welcome to another episode of the Fun Fans Podcast. I'm your host, James Dillard. With me, as always, my co-host, Bailey Jackson. How you doing, B?
I'm good, James. Looks like it's warm enough over in Spartanburg to do this outside this evening.
It is a beautiful day to have a test run for broadcasting at Wayne Buckingham's Orange and White Gala fundraiser weekend coming up at the beginning of August. So I'm out here. I'm not going to say I was displaced from my studio because my daughter came home from college. There's no complaints about the daughter coming home from college at all. It has gotten me out here in the wonderful outdoors to do the show. And hey, so far so good. It seems to be working out from what I at least I am being told. So we got a great show. Kind of hard to get a guest in the middle of the week, but that's okay. We're going to highlight what's been going on with Clemson athletics. The softball ACC softball tournament has started. We've got some tips for making that Mother's Day perfectly special for all the special mothers out there. There's some off-season college football stuff going on we'll talk about, and we're going to give away a tumbler. But first, we are a proud part of the Fanboys Fangirls Sports Podcasting Network. If you're a true sports fan, the Fanboys Fangirls is perfect for you. Find various nationwide podcasts and other sports media at thefanboys.com and all over various forms of social media. The Fun Fans Podcast is the official podcast for Clemson fans. And Bailey, where is our official favorite place to eat?
Only the place with the best wings around.
That's right.
1083 Batesville Road in Greer and 11028 Anderson Road in Piedmont. You will find Rubens Food, Sports, Spirits, and Catering. You can find them at rubensc.com. Rubens is simply a great place to eat for all sports fans, but especially Clemson Tiger fans.
That's right. And we are, as you can see on the bottom, we're asking folks to go like and follow Gayla McGinnis Designs. We had her on our show last week. If you need to go back and check that one out if you didn't hear that. So we're going to be promoting and supporting her and her business. Go find the show to figure out why we're doing that especially. And we are also, speaking of Wayne Buckingham's fundraiser, so there's a gala coming up. We love galas. There's a whole weekend, August 4th, 5th, and 6th, that we will be a part of. And as you can see, there are guest speakers, big time names from former Clemson athletics. You've got LaVon Kirkland, you've got Dale Davis, you've got Perry Tuttle, and you can be a part of this for as low as $50. You can attend the gala, but there are other higher donation numbers where you can actually spend the weekend and hang out with these guys, like personally. Enter a team round of golf on Sunday, go to and have them sit at your table. So Buck keeps adding the different prices. It's for 10 grand. You and your party of like 8 other of your friends can literally hang out with the one and only Horace Grant, former Clemson superstar, 3-time NBA champion. Horace Grant will spend the weekend with you for a donation of $10,000. But oh yeah, and just a reminder, he's raising this money for scholarships and to help some former Clemson athletes in need. And then Bailey, help me out here. It's getting to be so many options and opportunities. 7 grand is the weekend with Dale Davis. And then there's a 5 grand weekend with Eldon Campbell. And the most recent one is 2 grand donation. You and your group hangs out with Michael Dean Perry.
Yep. The easiest thing to do would be go to the website and check out all the different options. And
That's right.
We look forward to seeing you in Tigertown in August.
Yeah, find the website, WAB Sport. Reach out to us if you don't know why, but you can be a part of this as a business sponsor, and that starts as low as $150, so you don't have to, they're not just the big money donations, or you can just be a guest for just a $50 ticket to the gala. So, all right, so that's that, and hopefully we work that out, but that is going to be a who's who of Clemson athletics is going to be at that thing. It's going to be awesome. August 4th, 5th, and 6th. All right. So, speaking of getting tickets, Bailey is literally keeping up with Clemson baseball right now.
As we speak.
Who are they playing?
Coastal Carolina, number 8 team in the country. Clemson is currently ahead 10-2, and I think it's still the 5th inning. Maybe bottom of the 5th.
I mean, we don't.
It's on my smaller TV in my man cave.
we, we don't spend a lot of time really getting deep and analyzing. We're not going to tonight either. But I mean, what kind of turnaround has our baseball team had this year? It's I don't want
Well,
to say it's unbelievable.
I just saw Chris Carter, former guest on this Emmy and Grammy award-winning show. I don't know
the,
which one's for TV and which one's for movies, but
the fastest growing
um,
podcast.
I said, "Hey, Clemson baseball's turned around." He said, "Look, man," he said, "as long as Leggett's over there, things are going to happen." And he was, he loves Coach Leggett, and talked a little bit about my boy Nick Clayton. Play some golf with in the summer. He's having a great year as a reliever. We're
Yeah,
going to get him on this show eventually. Obviously, tonight he's in Conway, South
playing.
Carolina.
Yeah.
Which, if you don't know, the athletic director at Coastal Carolina is a Clover, South Carolina native,
Well,
Mr.
did
Matt
not know
Hove.
that.
Done an
Awesome.
outstanding job there. So yeah, they're playing well, and they could even host a regional.
Yeah, they've gone from the bottom of the ACC, the bottom of the division,
They're
to
in second.
a ranked team. Yeah, one of the top teams. They've won 5 straight ACC series, weekend series. They swept Louisville this past weekend, 31-17. And like you said, they're a riding line or predicted, whatever you want to say, to host a regional in the postseason, the NCAA's postseason. So
Yeah, and even tonight's game, this would be if they hold on to win, it would be a season sweep of Coastal, and Coastal's ranked in the top 10. So
Coastal's good.
the RPI and all the strength of schedules off the charts for the baseball team. So Wake Forest is ranked second in the country.
Wow, very good. I mean, talk about a turnaround. The epitome of it's not where you start, it's where you finish. And at this point, almost no matter how they do in the postseason, it's been a complete turnaround of not just the season, but of the program. They really got it done.
Yeah, they're more relevant now than they have been in several years, and I think it'll only get better.
Right. Awesome. All right. So softball. Okay. So the ACC tournament started today with, I guess these would be considered play-in games, with Notre Dame, Georgia Tech, and Virginia playing Syracuse. And then tomorrow will be I guess you could say, the real first round, or the semifinals or quarterfinals rather. And that's where the Tigers would take on North Carolina. So we are wishing the Lady Tigers softball team the best of luck as they get started in that ACC tournament. The Lady Tigers golf team, Bailey, have you heard about what those girls are doing?
I have.
They are rocking it. So they went out west. I believe it was Washington State. Is that right?
I think so, yeah.
So
I'm
out in
looking now.
NCAA regional action. So I'm not 100% sure, but similar setup to the baseball, softball maybe. So they do a regional, then in the top 4 or top so many teams qualify for the actual NCAA, what is the final tournament, and it's made up of 30 teams, and Clemson is one of the 30 teams. I don't know if there's seedings. I don't know if that even matters with golf. You just go out there and play, right?
I think they might do stroke play, and then once they get to like the top 8 teams advance to the match play stuff. I don't know. The guys do it similar to that, but I'd have to look it up to know for sure.
Well, all my years of keeping up with Clemson athletics, never our men's team has at least one, if not a couple, national championships. But the ladies golf program seems to be on the up and up this year, for sure.
It's a very new program.
Good,
relatively speaking. And I would be if before we talk about your national championship team,
yeah,
we really need to mention that the basketball team has had a great offseason with transfer portal kids. All right. Clemson just signed
the
Joe
portal
Girard.
is open. I think
Joe
see.
Girard was the 6th leading scorer in the ACC last year and started at point guard for Syracuse for 4 years.
That could be
All
good.
right. He averaged, and he's one of the 20 players named to the Jerry West Award Watch that is for the best point guard in the country.
Wow.
All right. He scored over 1,600 points in his career. And like I said, 16.4. He's joining, he scored 17.8 in ACC play, and he's joining PJ Hall. And then we picked up a guard from NC State who's 6'8", averaged 9 points a game. That is Jack Clark is his name. He was out one time we played him. Picked up a kid from the Air Force and another guy from UNC Greensboro who's like 6'10". And we lost Ben Middlebrooks to NC State. So we kind of did a player trade with State. But the men's basketball team has really had a great transfer portal season, better than most.
Very good. That'll be definitely looking forward to seeing how that goes next year. But as you heard, Bailey mentioned that we do have some national champions on our hands. Now, it's club sports and it's women's rugby, but it don't matter. When you win a national championship, you have won a national championship in the event you did not know.
Put a ring on it.
Put a ring on it. So the Division I club level Clemson Lady rugby team defeated UMass 29-17 in Washington, D.C. on Saturday. Hey, I was there. I was in D.C. Saturday to claim a national championship, the D1 club division. The win was Clemson's third in club sports this spring, adding a pair of national championships won by club volleyball earlier in April. Now, that is courtesy of TigerNet.com. Did you know? I didn't know the club volleyball team won a national championship. Did you know that?
No. How did that get past us?
I don't have any idea.
We have a score update. Clemson 12, Coastal 2. Clemson's still batting in the top of the sixth, I think. I'm not really that good at seeing that far anymore.
Okay.
Looks like another base hit. Oh, we called him out. What a bad call. But anyway.
Another base hit.
All right, back to the show.
All right, so was there another kind of big event this weekend, Bailey?
Yeah, there was a horse race in Kentucky.
There was a horse race. Now, you're the research guy. I meant to do this. I have no idea, honestly, the name of the horse that won.
Can I be completely honest with you?
Yes.
I have no idea.
Okay, so here's the deal, though. We're sitting there at a restaurant in downtown D.C. It was the coolest thing. Where you ever been in the city and you go, it's like Cheers. You've seen Cheers. Everybody remembers Cheers, where everybody knows your name.
Right.
And you have to go down steps into a restaurant that's underneath the building.
Right.
So we're at this pretty neat little restaurant, and right there on the TV. And I just like Bailey said, being completely honest, Gayla was on here last week. We talked a little bit about horses. We're going to get to the Tryon International Horse Center place up there. Madge.
I guess.
Is that like somebody from New Jersey?
MAGE. The trainer's Gustavo Delgado, and the jockey was Jay Castellano.
Okay.
Now, Phils was second. I like Phils' name better.
Well, listen, this is the important part. There are two things I want to point out. Number one, a lot of hoopla, and the blame thing lasted like 90 seconds or so, maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah.
We watched it from start to finish. They started. I'm like, so how many times they go around? And they were like, once. So people wear those hats and they make the drinks with the salad in it just for one lap around the track. There's got to be more to it to that when you go to Kentucky. But then
mint julep.
The mint julep. So we have always people are used to it now. I still really don't like it. It's got to be difficult as a coach. Like during a timeout, they interview a player or a coach or as they're on their way. They started out just getting them on their way into halftime, right? They grab Saban, and Saban's all upset. And then that gives them something else to talk about, like how he answered the questions. That used to not be a thing. If you're mine and Bailey's age or so, the people used to leave the athletes and coaches alone until the game was over, but not anymore. But you know what? After the Kentucky Derby, check out this lady interviewer person.
Who's on the horse?
And they had to get on the horse to ride beside the jockey. I mean, they can't wait until the dude gets off the horse to do the interview. I mean, Are we that much of a microwave society, I guess?
Well, yeah, I know the answer to that, but that's what you call high-level reporting.
That she gets the Sportscaster of the Year award. Don't know her name either.
You think J-Do would do that?
I think J-Do would definitely do that. MC, entertainer, entrepreneur, pep rallies, corporate events, game shows, fundraisers, galas, post-game interviews on horses. Just put that man on the mic and let him liven up the party. Not only is J-Do a friend of mine, I've seen him work, and you and your organization will not be disappointed anytime you add J-Do to your function. You can find him at itsjdo.com or at itsjdo on all forms of social media. All right. Do I need a drum roll? What's it? It's time for.
Yeah, drum roll be good.
Hang on. Where's my drum roll? Who's my producer? Where's all my sound? I'm outside. I hear the birds chirping. It is now time. Night. Oh, wait a minute. That's not the one with the.
It never ends.
It's the one with the symbol. It's the time for your fun fans Mother's Day tips. So tips to making Mother's Day super, super special. This is what you got to do. And you just you don't have to tell mom you heard it here. You don't have to give us any credit. You can just take all the credit. Tip number 1, you have to have a plan.
Correct.
I mean, there's just if you don't at least have a plan, you're going to be in big trouble. Kind of leads into tip number 2. Make the plans.
Take the initiative.
You have a plan. You make the plans. Okay.
As long as it's okay with your wife and your mom.
Well, and see, that's
that goes to number 4.
You skip to number 4. Number 3 is have a backup plan, because let's just be honest, we are dealing with women here. So you got to have a plan. You got to make the plan, and you got to have a backup plan, because the plan has to be okay with your wife. Because most of folks are like Bailey and I, we have mothers, but our wives are also mothers. So it's a
and
Mother's
we have
Day.
Mother-in-laws.
It's the Mother's Day triangle. Mm-hmm. So make the plans, have a plan, make sure the plan is, and have a backup plan, and it's got to be okay with your wife.
Yeah, because that's the Bermuda Triangle you don't want to get in.
You do not want to be in that one. All right. No. Number 5, do not. Guys, listen to me now. You do not try to cook something that your mom or wife normally cooks. Don't do it. Don't try it. It's not going to turn out like theirs. They don't want their favorite dish that you make, which leads to the final tip. Grill or go out, okay? It's the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. Do what you know. They love your steaks and burgers and chicken and all the stuff that you normally put on the grill. So just do that anyway. And we guarantee here at Fun Fans Podcast, we guarantee if you follow those tips, you will have a very successful Mother's Day with a very happy mother, and hopefully also a very happy wife. So I needed a sound. Well, where's the? I need the. Hang on.
Okay. Yes. That's good.
Good stuff.
I hear birds chirping.
Hey, yeah, I'm outside. All right, more applause for the bird. For the birds chirping. All right, so we do want to, speaking of mothers and the favorite ladies in our lives, we want to talk about what's going on, a little bit of football season. So to lead into that, and I told everybody I was on a trip to DC. This is one of my pictures. During the football season, we had a Porta John segment during all of our podcasts. If you hadn't gone back and listened, it was audio only. Find it on Spotify, all your favorite podcast platforms. But we had a Porta John segment. We're walking down some street right past the Capitol, headed towards the Air and Space Museum. And this building is under construction. And hopefully you can see that on the screen. For those of you audio, there is a Porta John on the outside catwalk type scaffolding type, but that's not your ordinary scaffolding right there.
That's one of those automated
big time construction commercial, and right over there on the corner,
that Porta John, don't tip anybody over in that one.
How do you
you're looking at 7 stories.
I wonder if that's OSHA. That's got to be OSHA regulations.
I'm pretty sure it's bolted down, and I don't know who cleans it out, but I'm pretty sure they drop it to the ground to get it. That thing is automated. In the morning you get on, you don't ever have to come back down.
There you go. Just
work on whatever floor.
Yeah. Where's Tom? Oh, he went to the Porta John.
The boss man said, "You're not missing any time to go to the bathroom."
Yeah.
There it is.
There it is right there. Okay. So a couple of things have happened with football. If you have not heard, there are 3 rule changes to college football. Number 1, running the clock after first downs, except during the last 2 minutes of each half. Bailey, do we care?
It will speed the game up some.
I think the statistics say maybe 7 to 10 minutes shorter football game.
Okay,
like
that'd
overall,
be great.
Start to finish. So Yeah, as long as it's not the last 2 minutes. I kind of wish they would do the last minute of each quarter, last minute of the first and third, and the last 2 minutes of the half. Because you'd hate for a quarter to end on the first.
Yeah, but you're
anyway.
you're not trying to go down and score before a significant break.
If it's first or third quarter.
I mean,
that's true.
Look, I like the idea if it helps speed up the game. They didn't put in my thought is that why don't we just play all the commercials during halftime?
Well, I was going to say, why are we trying to? We're only speeding up the game so the TV people can make more money.
Yeah. The worst thing ever is the little. I'd hate to be the guy with the clock that has to go out there because he's the worst. He's the most hated guy in the stadium.
Yes.
On Saturdays.
Yes.
Is the little guy that tells you how long to the TV timeout's over when you just had one 3 plays earlier.
And he's got the biggest sign.
Yeah.
Bless his heart. But anyway, I don't think we're going to be too bothered by that. Probably won't even notice. All right, the second rule change. The banning of consecutive timeouts by a team.
Thank goodness.
I'm
Ice the kicker at the end of the game or the half.
Ice him, but just once.
Yeah.
Yeah, no burning timeouts. You got to at least let a play run. So that one's good.
My goodness.
All right, this one, you pay attention at home, listen closely. Carrying over a foul to the second or fourth quarter rather than playing an untimed down.
What does that mean? Does that mean if you commit a foul at the end of the
first and or
that anyway,
third,
don't they?
Apparently not. See, I don't think we're going to matter. It's going to matter to us on this.
So the quarter can't end on a defensive penalty. In other words,
well, it used to could not, but now the first and third quarter can. They'll just carry it over into the second or fourth quarter.
Good idea.
But the halves, the first half, and obviously the game will still not end on a. Well, it don't say defensive, but I mean that's kind of the deal. The defensive penalty. So that one is. We won't even notice that one either. So slightly shorter games, and a couple of other different rules that some people have to keep up with. I'm sure those guys that sit around us, they were probably in on making those rules.
Oh, I'm sure they're on the committee.
All right, some other stuff. Now, this is pretty exciting that was announced. So, and I think they've done the 2024 and also the 2025 playoff locations. So what I have on the screen here, and for the folks listening to audio only, the first round, it says on campus. So that means the higher seeded team will host, and this is December 20th and December 21st. So basically right before Christmas, and then the quarterfinals jumps to the same time frame as it always has been at or right around New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, and then 10 days or so into the new year will be the championship game. Well, no, the finals, and then the actual championship game will be another 10 days or so after that. So obviously with the 8-team, 8-4-12, how many teams is this?
I don't know. I can't see it. It's so small on my screen.
Well, you can't see that.
Well, I have the script up where I can read it.
Okay. So anyway, the cool thing about this, the bottom line is they're expanding the playoffs, and we all know that. But to me, what's cool about it is the home game. How cool would it be for Clemson to host a playoff game in Death Valley, Clemson, South Carolina? It'll be a team we're not used to playing. I don't know, Texas, just making Michigan, whoever, some team that, bring them on. Well, and all that, and that would be so cool. Hopefully, home ticket holders obviously will have kind of dibs to buy the tickets, blah, 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 whatever. The tailgating and all that stuff for a playoff game, that will be legit. It'll be nice and cool. See, in South Carolina, December, we might actually not have to wear – we might have to wear a coat, but we might can just wear a light jacket or a hoodie and still be just fine.
It depends. Yeah. But I'm going to tell you what it is. That would be a logistical nightmare for the athletic department to add another home game. How do you handle parking permits? How do you handle this? How do you handle that? I mean, that's something that I'm sure they've thought about it and they have a plan, but I'm just hoping my parking pass works.
Well, so what they'll have to, I'm sure they'll reissue. They'll have to get it. It'll be electronic. things are like your parking might be electronic, just like your ticket is, or who knows. The parking's a good ticketing shouldn't be an issue because that's electronic. That should be fast. But you're right about the parking. That could be if they want a physical placard similar to what we use during the regular season. That could definitely be something different for sure.
Correct.
Huh. Hadn't thought about that. That's why I like listening to our podcast. All right. Now, all that said, how cool it would be for Clemson to host a playoff game. I still think it would be super, super, super cool, awesome to go to another location for a playoff game. And see, these first round, the tickets will be, I mean, they ain't going to be cheap, but it's not going to be like paying $800 for a national championship game or something. But going somewhere we don't normally go.
I tell you what, I bet the NCAA sets the ticket price.
Probably.
That, I mean, to me, that would only be fair. Like,
I'm sure they will. Yeah.
I don't know how that would work, but that would be the most fair way to do it. That way, because some schools could gouge you. I mean, obviously lower deck seats are going to be more than upper deck seats, but man, you get on StubHub or Ticketmaster and you're paying a fortune for those things.
It's going crazy. Well, similar to like high school league here in South Carolina that determines the ticket prices and what happens to the money of playoff games and stuff here. So, but how cool would it be to go to, even if it was an away game, it's a playoff game and we get to somewhere we don't normally go. I don't know, Florida, for example. Texas, well, we played Texas A&M a couple of times. We've had some series with them. Oklahoma, or I don't know. They'll probably try to work it out geographically where it's not, all the way across the country, but maybe Ohio State, Michigan, Tennessee. I mean, it can be anybody. Just opens up the possibilities to me. I get as a fan, and once again, the podcast is about being a fan. I think that would be super, super cool. The way the best thing, in my opinion, about expanding the playoffs, because people are still going to argue who should get in and who shouldn't. 8 teams, 10 teams, 12 teams.
The argument just goes to teams 13, 14,
right.
15
just goes to the next team, but it's super cool because of the first round being home game. So I am personally looking forward to that, but that is not this coming school year. That is next school year, 2024. So cool.
We have some time to think about it.
Yeah, we do have some time to think about it. Speaking of thinking about it, we need to think about, maybe you need to think about getting you some Fun Fans merchandise from Diamond Etch Products, right, Bailey?
Yes. I'm telling you, they make good stuff. They've mastered the diamond laser engraving process. They can put almost any design on items such as license plates, yard signs, tumblers, water bottles, and much more for a high-quality, forever-lasting, custom engraved product. Check out Diamond Etch Products at diamondetchedproducts.com, or if you have questions or you'd like to order something, email Jaylin, that's Jaylin, at diamondetchedproducts.com, and she will hook you up. And now it's time for our giveaway. Drum roll, please.
Oh, man, drum roll. Here we go.
Yes.
I just went to the other. See, now I'm clicking all the wrong stuff. Did you hear the car go by?
Yeah, that's okay. That's the delivery truck for the tumbler.
Okay. This is the second time this has happened. I'm going to find somebody to give the tumbler to, but I'm going to blame it on the fact that we're doing a midweek show and that I was driving all the way from DC on Sunday, and I literally told my coworkers and my wife that it was only this morning. We came back Sunday, and it was only this morning, Wednesday, before I felt like I had my wits about me. I've been all messed up. So I forgot to go look and see who shared and do the drawing. I will find to give a tumbler to.
All right, we'll just do 2 next week or whatever.
Yeah, we can. There we go. So how can you win? You share any of our shows. We're going to give away 2. We'll give away a tumbler and a koozie next week to 2 people. So that's a great idea. Very, very good idea. That's awesome. Or you can go find your merch. We will post the links to everything we've talked about on the show when we post the show on social media. Feel free to reach out to us about anything with the orange and white fundraiser that Wayne Buckingham is putting on. Rub those elbows with some big-time Clemson names. Kind of short show, like I say, middle of the week. We're going to be coming at you next Wednesday, middle of the week, one more time.
Because we're taking Mother's Day off. Mother's Day. We ain't working on Mother's Day.
We have a plan. We have a backup plan. and we will treat the mothers right. So thanks again for checking us out. Be sure and like and subscribe on all your favorite platforms, especially on YouTube. Find us at Fun Fans Podcast. We're going to continue to bring you a show where, honestly, summer is right around the corner, which means football season is going to be here before you know it. So it's going to be pretty cool and pretty awesome. And on behalf of the Fun Fans Podcast, J Thrill Entertainment, the Fanboys Fangirls Podcast Network, and Bailey Jackson.
See you later, everybody.
Thanks for listening, and go Tigers.